Hey there, this is Joe from the Adult Services and Acquisitions Department here at the Livingston Public Library, back to tell you about more of the magnificent musical materials in our collection. Now, over the past few months, I have been enthusiastically recommending this book that came out last year called How to Write One Song by Jeff Tweedy. Now, if you don't know, Jeff Tweedy has been an accomplished musician for over 30 years, first with the band Uncle Tupelo, and then with Wilco, the band behind fantastic albums like Being There and Summer Teeth and Yankee Hotel Foxtrot and A Ghost is Born and The Whole Love, just to name a few. Jeff Tweedy also wrote a memoir that came out in 2018 called Let's Go So We Can Get Back, which I loved and would also highly recommend if you're already familiar with and interested in his work. But How to Write One Song, I would recommend highly even if you've never heard of Jeff Tweedy before. The book contains, just as the title suggests, all sorts of tips on songwriting, although a lot of the advice in here could also be applied to just about any kind of creative process. If you are a songwriter, though, as I often like to fancy myself, you couldn't find a better source than this. Not only is Jeff Tweedy someone who's written dozens and dozens and dozens of incredible songs in his life, he's also an excellent prose writer, and he's able to convey his own creative process in very clear and inspiring ways. Check out these excerpts from a couple of my favorite passages. Find some way to sidestep the part of your brain that wants perfection or needs to be rewarded right away with a creation that it deems good. Something that supports an ideal vision of yourself as someone who's serious and smart and accomplished. Basically, you have to have a party and not invite any part of your psyche that feels a need to judge what you make as a reflection of you. I think it's a skill that one would more likely relearn than learn. Kids are, in my experience, usually able to commit to creating in a way almost completely devoid of judgment. I love watching kids sprawled out on a carpet drawing or coloring. To me, it's the ideal creative state, and it's what I strive for more than any other aspect of what I do. I don't like every song I write, but I like that I wrote it. I know that for every 4 or 5 songs I write, I'm going to have one that means a lot to me, and it wouldn't have come to me if I hadn't written the other 4 songs, if I hadn't practiced getting to that place. A place that's as close to coloring on the floor as I can get. Again, even if you've never heard of Jeff Tweedy before or heard any of his songs before, even if you're not even a songwriter per se, but as long as you want to get better at any kind of creative pursuit, drawing, painting, poetry, sculpture, whatever it is, there is a wealth of valuable information in here. And plus, it's a very slim book. You can read it super fast. And of course, it's also in our print collection here at the Livingston Public Library. Though if our copy is currently unavailable, we can always get one from one of our fellow libraries in the Buckles Consortium. How to Write One Song is also available as an ebook or an audiobook from Overdrive, which you can borrow with your Livingston Library card. And you can also borrow any of the great Wilco albums I mentioned earlier, not to mention a bunch of other great music that Jeff Tweedy recorded with Uncle Tupelo or as a solo artist. You can stream those or download those through Hoopla Digital, or you can borrow them on CD from one of the Buckles libraries. Well, that's it for now. Till next time, remember to remember me, standing still in your past, floating fast like a hummingbird.